Microphone.
I'll try again. Chair, I'm just not sure I understood what my learned colleague behind me said. He's basically saying he wants to support the framework but change it. Be that as it may, the wording that we had in mind, which is in fact politically neutral, is the consensus here, as we heard from stakeholders, the vast majority of which, I think my colleague said 97% of which, were opposed to a VAT increase, and from our engagements over the last 2 weeks, this committee is also opposed to VAT increases. So the proposed wording to be added to 6.288 is as follows. This committee amends the fiscal framework to reduce consolidated revenue for 2025 and 26 by 13.5 billion. Likewise, to reduce consolidated revenue for 26-27 by 29.844 billion, and for 27-28 by 31.616 billion. This committee amends the fiscal framework to reduce consolidated expenditure by 13.5 billion. Likewise, to reduce consolidated expenditure for 26-27 by 29.84 billion, and for 27-28 by 31.61 billion. Finally, this committee amends the revenue proposal to reject the 0.5% VAT rise due to begin on 1 May 2025, as well as the additional increase proposed for 26-27, thus bringing proposals in line with the revenue amount in the amended fiscal framework. Chair, those are the words we would propose. I'm now sending those words to the committee secretary to include. My final comment on this would be, we're not making comments here on where the money should come from and go to. We're simply amending the fiscal framework to take out a VAT increase. I trust that that has the support of this committee. Thank you.
Dr. Burke, Honourable Van Rooyen.
Yeah, Chair, I think I've listened to the two submissions. I think we are agreeing on one thing. We might differ on the alternative approach, but the VAT matter, the increase for both financial year is not supported by ourselves. Of course, we'll make a detailed submissions on potential alternative proposals that can be considered, to deal with the budget deficit. But for now, SNK Party, we are very clear. We are not going to support any VAT increase because it's a regressive move that will further burden our people who are currently unemployed, who are currently swimming in the pool of poverty, who are the victims of inequality. So we don't see ourselves as SNK Party supporting any increase on VAT. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Honourable Van Rooyen. Honourable Tambo.
No, thank you, Chair. I think I want us to start with clarity because we're back on wording. Because the Honourable Beasley states support with conditionalities that we will get alternative revenue generation proposals within 30 days. While what the Honourable Des Van Rooyen is saying and what the Honourable Beck is saying is that we're amending the fiscal framework to remove the 0.5% increase proposals this year and next year. So the two proposals are not the same thing. Because the first proposal is that we support with conditionality that we will receive an alternative within 30 days. That means tomorrow we're going to support a fiscal framework which includes VAT until we get alternatives. And I don't think we agree with that. We are saying that we disagree with the 0.5% VAT increase this year and next year. And that phrasing must be stated categorically. And then secondly, because that is what the Money Bills Amendment Procedure and other related matters Act states, that we must state clearly within this report whether we accept or we amend the fiscal framework and revenue proposals. That must find expression somewhere in this report, either in the introduction or at the end. I proposed earlier in the morning when we started that the introduction must state categorically that we are amending the fiscal framework and revenue proposals. What the Honourable Beasley is stating is not an amendment. It's an acceptance conditioned by the fact that over the next 30 days we'll receive an alternative. I don't know how we're going to guarantee that that condition is met. So I have no interest in entrusting that the Minister of Finance and National Treasury will in the next 30 days come with an alternative revenue proposal. I don't have that faith. So I think let's state categorically as a committee, firstly, Are we agreeing now at this stage that we're amending the fiscal framework and revenue proposals? Are we agreeing that that amendment pertains to the 0.5% VAT increases? And then that will be the point of departure of our engagements. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mota, then I'll come to Honorable Numan.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So I think the PBO needs to come in because according to the law, we assist with two things. You either accept the fiscal framework and revenue proposal as tabled, or you amend. So you can't say you accept, but still you want to amend. If you accept in its entirety. But if you want to change something, that's where the amendment comes in. So, which means that we reject the presented fiscal framework and revenue proposals, and we request to amend. And that amendment is where we agree with Honorable Beasley on the VAT increase. When it comes to Honorable Doctor, we don't agree with the austerity measures that the DA is putting on the table. We don't agree, Chair. It has not yielded any results for the past 30 years. So, in as much as we agree with them saying let's amend the VAT, but what comes after that is what we respectfully reject. We can't do that. So, our proposal is that let's agree that we amend the fiscal framework and revenue proposals, and the issue of it will give the minister, Chair, it will give us as a committee the opportunity to amend that which we do not agree with, which in this case will be the VAT, and maybe they can raise any other issues, and then they get tabled and we deliberate on them. So that is our proposal, but we don't agree with austerity measures at all. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks. Honorable Numan.
Thank you very much once more, Chairperson. Chairperson, I think I agree with the Honorable Peasley. Whatever. So, but I'm sorry. Okay. I think I agree with the proposal that is put on the table to say that the minister can have other avenues where he can be able to look at the VAT. Because really the VAT will assist us. VAT increase is essential for supporting the fiscal consolidation, given the rise in permanent consumption-related spending, particularly on wages and also the SRD grant. So with that proposal, Chairperson, I agree with Honorable. Sorry for the sentence.
Okay. Bungal. I'll come back to Beck. I don't know.
No, thank you. No, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think that what Honorable Beasley has raised is correct. It must be supported. Is that we must give the Treasury and the Ministry a breathing space to go and come back to us after 30 days. But in the meantime, we support this 0.5 with the proviso that after 30 days they must come with alternative sources of dealing with that. Because as we do now, Chair, we need, as of yesterday, that the SRD must be paid, the social grant must be paid. So it means that we must have fiscal certainty as we're moving out of this meeting. Thank you, Minister.
Danke.
I'm not going to be long, Chair, but I want to agree with Honorable Kadebe, because also we must take note that the Minister has said that the National Treasury will reconsider the increment of the 0.5% of VAT in the next financial year. So for me, that's a working in progress.
Right on.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, what Honorable Tambo was saying is, what miracle are we expecting the minister to come up with in 30 days if they could not come up with a miracle? In the first time the budget was postponed because there was no agreement, and the main reason was the VAT issue. And still they did not come with an alternative measures as to how